Will, do you want to kick us off? Whichever one is more.
Hi, Ellis. Will here. How are you?
Neither of them are particularly central, to be honest.
Can you hear me there?
Yeah, hang on.
Seating problem, sorry.
Okay. All good?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Obviously, that was your first game back in Welsh Red for 3 years, Ellis. How was that?
Disappointing. Obviously, to be in a position to win the game, particularly once they had their try disallowed, I thought it was a bit of a momentum switch. But they're a good team. They're coming off the back of obviously the Lions tour and a lot of international rugby together, and they just probably turned the screw a bit too much for us at the end. You could feel the weight coming on, and it's a tough momentum to stop. You know exactly what's coming, but it's still a challenge to stop it. Unfortunately, we fell short at the end.
With the journey that you've been on over the last 3 years and having 2 years out with the injury, have you allowed to be proud of yourself for the way you performed today yet, or are you still annoyed about the result?
Sorry, Will, you cut out then. What did you say?
Sorry, I was saying with the journey you've been on over the last 3 years, are you allowing yourself to step back and be proud of what you've done tonight?
Yeah, look, I think in a couple of days probably, but the competitor in you is still disappointed with the loss, particularly the manner of the loss. I felt like we were in control for large portions of the game. But yeah, look, my family was there, my girlfriend, my best mates. It was, you could see how much it meant to them as well. And that's obviously really, it's probably the part of it that people don't see. But yeah, it was really, really nice for me to have everyone there. But yeah, it would have been nice to have finished off with a win.
There must have been plenty of dark days in the last 3 years. So can you talk us through, aside from just playing the game itself, the sort of special moments that will live with you now you're back in a Welsh jersey?
What do you mean by special moments?
Well, the fact that you had so long out, you might have thought you would never play for Wales again. So now you're back. Are you able to appreciate the bits and pieces around the match, that not just the rugby itself?
Yeah, definitely. I was travelling reserve last week, and I've probably missed most of rugby during COVID. So obviously, lots of the boys have got used to rugby with no crowds and stuff. Whereas I played 3 or 4 games when there was no crowds. So it's not really something I became used to. But it's one I always say to people when people ask me what it's like playing at Millennium Stadium. It's the most sort of the thing that stands out, other than the rugby, is the driving up Westgate Street and everyone, seeing how much it means to everyone, and speaking to Nugget before the game, he was just telling me to enjoy it, and I said I'm probably quite glad that I got to do that last week, so that you get off the bus, you drive past everyone screaming and shouting, and then it really does sort of get you up for the game. Obviously last week, get up for the game and then not playing, but it was nice to sort of get out of the way, get on the pitch, see all the fans, and then sort of be able to do that again this week and contribute on the pitch.
Ellis, how much of a relief was it to get an early turnover, hear the crowd roaring, as you say, and realise that, yeah, I can still do this after 3 years out?
Yeah, that was always nice. Just particularly the manner of it. We were under a bit of pressure in the 22. And it's always nice when you get those real pressure relieving moments. It's a team, it's probably a bit cliche, but it's a team effort, and there's big collisions going in. There's probably 2 or 3 phases, and if you're trying to string 2 or 3 positive sets together, and that's when the turnover opportunities arise. So yeah, it was a nice moment for me, but obviously huge work rate from the boys as well, boys inside. But yeah, it's always nice to hear the roar of the Millennium Stadium when the crowd gets going.
And have you set yourself targets in the game now, like the next World Cup, or after what's happened to you, do you just think on a more short-term basis?
It's like you're always trying to set yourself. Well, me personally, you're always trying to set yourself long-term goals and short-term goals, and that would definitely be there. But there's a lot of time to go before then. It's my first game back in a Welsh shirt. Still got a lot of stuff to work on. I think for the last, especially for the two and a bit years, getting back onto the pitch was my sole focus. And sort of since I've been back, it's trying to get back to where I was. There's getting back and playing is great, but I want to get back and play at the level that I think I can play at. And yeah, I'm probably not quite there yet, but I'm willing to work hard to get there, and that's what I want to achieve. And
there are going to be obviously a few changes against Fiji, but I guess after this, you'd be happy to stay on the side and have another run out next week. Yeah, look, any chance you get to play for Wales is a huge honour. Foxy spoke about it in the team run yesterday and in the warm up today. That just look around and take in what's going on, particularly after the whole sort of the last 18 months has been very tough for people, and to understand and remember how lucky we are, and not take it for granted is again, probably sounds a bit cliche, but we are very lucky to do what we do, and that never gets forgotten. Well played.
Yeah, it's Alex here. Well played. Have you surprised yourself with how well you played there? Because you've obviously played well at regional level, but this was another big step up.
I'm a confident person. I always know that if I get my stuff right, I'm confident in my ability to play at this level. There's some things that I'm really not happy about with my performance today. A couple of cheap penalties, which, speaking to Tane after the game, comes with the territory a little bit. You've got to live, especially in the back row, probably playing as 2-7s today. You've got to live on the edge, but probably both of us, maybe too far on the edge at times today. But he's another player who's a joy to play with, and he's learning fast, and he's taken to it like a duck to water, really. But yeah, look, there's a lot to improve. I'm still physically trying to get back to where I am, or as well as I can, which takes a lot of work. And but yeah, I'm trying to get on the right track to get there.
Just lastly for me, you've been out of the environment a long time, but you were captain towards the end there. Does that sort of show how pleasing it's for you to have that standing within the team as a leader, and obviously someone Wayne looks to, that someone looks at you as someone who can fulfill that role?
Yeah, I don't know if it's just a sort of measure of how chopsy I am, really, but it's a role that I'm comfortable in. It's not something I feel you don't need to change the way you are. You get picked for leadership roles and as captain based on how probably your personality and how you are, and it just sort of, yeah, it's just one of those things. You get on with it and just try and contribute as much as you can to the team. It doesn't change the way you play the game. You still got to try and make there's no point screaming and shouting at people or telling people what to do if your performances aren't excellent. So that's my focus, and whatever else comes with it. If I can help the team, then I will.
Thank you. Cheers.
Hey there, Ellis. Just saw you chatting to Khaleesi at full time. I just wondered what kind of stuff you two spoke about.
Yeah, he's obviously a great guy, and he just said, "Look, it's great to see you back." He sent me a jersey actually from the game that we played. So the game that I got injured in, he was with the Barbars a couple of weeks later, and Wayne Mortimer, one of the physios, spoke to him, and he sent his jersey to me, which was obviously a very nice, a nice gesture. But he was just, we all, it's horrible. You go out and you compete and you try and get one over on the opposition, but it's horrible to see people get injured, and it's particularly the way it happened at the end of the game. And you just saying like how happy he was that I'm back playing, and how much sort of he enjoys playing against me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'd see each other now in the URC, and hopefully next summer as well.
Thanks everyone.